Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review For Heaven's Sake. And this is from Paramount Plus, and this is a new docu-series focusing on a true crime investigation into the whereabouts of Harold Heaven, who had lived in Ontario, Canada in this cabin, but mysteriously disappeared in 1934, and one of his descendants and his fellow comedian go into investigating this cold case. And this is from Funny or Die, which is interesting, because there's definitely a lot of humor. Obviously, when you put two comedians at the forefront, they're going to make you laugh. And you do. You do laugh watching For Heaven's Sake. And that humor is a fun, fresh addition to what's normally very dour, very intense, and very just serious kind of genre. True crime. And you get the interest in the intrigue and the energy from these two that puts this apart a bit. Now, are they a little bit too much of clowns? Yes, because there's parts of this investigation that literally make no sense and only feel like they're there for entertainment's sake. So, like, they believe that maybe, just maybe, this group of road workers got really drunk one night and wandered to the cabin and, did something to Harold. And they're like, we need to prove that a bunch of drunk guys could walk across and get to this cabin. So they're like, we're going to go drinking. And they start drinking beers. And the bartender's like, those people wouldn't have been drinking beers. They would have been drinking whiskey. And so then they start drinking whiskey. And they're a mess, these two. And yeah, it's fun. But it literally makes no sense because, one, these men who are hardworking, like heavy lifting, probably alcoholics, wouldn't have been that drunk. So they probably would have been able to do this anyway. It's not a fair comparison because it's very obvious these two comedians would not be on the same level of drinking as a bunch of working class guys. Putting back whiskeys, especially because they didn't even think about what they might be drinking either. So you have stuff like that in this documentary series that just sticks out, that it feels like it's there for entertainment and takes you out of it a little bit. Or it could just be me. But that one really stuck out to me. I'm just like, come on. But the series does a fantastic job of building tension. And Tim Johnson, who's the director, there's intrigue. You're going episode to episode. You have new theories. You have new ideas. They're chasing after them. They structured the episodes well to make you buy in and want to go into the next episode. And you get the whole town involved. And you get to hear all these different perspectives. There's plenty of mystery thrown in. Obviously, they're trying to solve this cold case. Now, here's the thing. Up until, like, the first 6 episodes out of 8, they're just going at it. They're throwing out these conjectures. They're throwing out these potential, like, serious accusations against people without any recourse. And they're just going willy-nilly at these. And that's a little problematic. And they finally have another investigator come in like the second to last episode and really kind of like shed a light on, like, you can't just like be investigators and not like check this or authenticate this. And it felt a little too late in the game. And then the last episode really focuses on the fallout. And what if you don't really answer a cold case? And they had to apologize to people because they were throwing these accusations all around. And I felt like it was too late in the game because you just let these guys run amok for like 3/4 of the series. And then at the last minute are trying to get like, but it felt a little forced at the end, felt a little tacked on. But the ending, I feel like, gives this series so much more heart than it had up to this point, because up to this point it was just fun and intrigue. Now it's heart, and you're really connecting and having the two comedians really growing and getting a sense of what this was really all about and what it should have always been about. And I wish there was more of that throughout this series instead of just like tacked on at the end, because there was some significant progress in these last 2 episodes that made this documentary series a lot more layered. But I feel like in many ways it was too late to make up for the fact that most of the series was just like sometimes silly, just fun entertainment. And it does try to add some meaning at the end, and it's warranted meaning. It just didn't feel like was as earned as it could have been if it was embedded more throughout the series. But in the end, For Heaven's Sake is an interesting and fun time, and I enjoyed watching this series, and I would definitely recommend checking it out if you get access to Paramount Plus. But those are my thoughts on Heaven's Sake. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some TV. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.